throughout my pregnancy with Jaime, I was able to deal with it and positive. I said I can do this, and I was everything was going really good, and all of a sudden my water bag just broke at 27 weeks, and I was rushed to the hospital, and Jaime was born, and at birth he weighed 1 pound 15 ounces, and for the first 3 months of his life, Spectrum Health was his home. When Jaime was still in the hospital, I went to visit him, as I did every day, and I went to visit him, and the nurse told me, she said, Jaime's not doing too good. He's very sick. And I remember leaving the hospital that day, and I was feeling sad and worried, and I just prayed for him. And then the next day I visited Jaime, and the doctor was waiting for me, and he said, Jaime had a rough night, and we're not exactly sure what the next 24 hours will be like. And I immediately wanted to go see him. So I remember entering the NICU unit, and my eyes became watery. My heart was pounding, and I felt more sad, scared, and afraid, because I didn't know if he was going to be able to make it, because he was fighting for so long to be strong so that he could live. And I remember I would pray, but this time that I went to visit Jaime, I said, I began to speak to the Lord. And in the NICU, it's noisy at times because there's people talking, there's oxygen machines going off, there's alarms sounding for different reasons for other babies. And I remember when I began to speak to the Lord, it was as if I had lost my hearing. Pure silence all around me. And I had said, Lord, please don't take him away. You've given him to me for 2 months, and I'm just not ready to let go. And I remember, I just remembered that I said, Lord, if he stays, I will teach him about you, and I will show him your love. And I remember that I had grabbed his, I could hold him, I could touch him, but I couldn't hold him yet. And I remember I had put his little fingers around my index finger, and I was still with my head down. I was crying, and I was still praying, and I was talking to the Lord. And as I was sitting there, Jaime, I was crying, and I lifted my head, and I looked at Jaime, and I had just tears running down my face. I had said, thank you, Lord, because Jaime had squeezed my index finger. And I remember that soon after that, he started gaining weight, and he started eating. And 4 weeks later, Jaime came home from the hospital weighing less than 5 pounds. When Jaime was 18 months, doctors told us that he would be mentally delayed. And when Jaime was 3 years old, he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. And then soon after that, we received more devastating news. And for any parent, very difficult when the doctor says, your child will never walk. And that was very hard for me to accept. And then I just kept my faith strong, and I just kept praying, and left everything in the Lord's hands, and did everything I could. Jaime has had 8 surgeries to be able to walk, and it was very, very hard, because after every surgery he had to have therapy, physical therapy. And Jaime, now at 18 years old, has graduated from Ottawa Hills High School, class of 2014. When they announced his name, he walked across that stage like with the biggest smile, and all of us were there cheering him on. Have faith in the Lord. He listens to our prayers, and he answers them.